Welcome to Oregon City Pioneer Stadium for the 2022 OGLA Silver Cup final game between the St. Mary's Academy Blues and the Cleveland Warriors. In accordance with the OGLA and USA Lacrosse rules for sportsmanship, we ask all fans to respect all players, coaches, and officials and work to keep togetherness atmosphere positive. Now to introduce the Cleveland Warriors from the Portland League. The starters are number 0, Fiona Vessel. Number 5, Claire Denny. Number 9, Caitlin Walker. Number 10, Olivia Taylor. Number 11, Jana Block Swanson. Number 12, Anna King. Number 13, Bella Joachim. Number 14, Presley Rocky. Number 15, Ellie Hines. Number 19, Lloyd Bartolotti. Number 21, Meredith Shea. And number 22, Francisco. And now for the St. Mary's Blues. Starters are number 2, Anna LaFleur. Number 3, Jaya Shavers. Number 8, Evie Kim. Number 10, Maya Anisvet. Number 12, Nora LaHonk. Number 13, Emily Millbrook. Number 15, Neil Longer. Number 19, Cora Wendell. Number 20, Barrett Brecky. Number 22, Sarah Wolf. Number 25, Jane Murphy. And number 55, Rizal Dine. All right, folks. Would you please stand and remove your hats? It's time for the national anthem.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the championship game of the Silver Bracket. I'm Todd Mansfield, joined by Ben Finklea, board member from the OGLA and West Lynn girls lacrosse coach. Ben, we had 2 terrific games yesterday, and even though this is a different bracket, the Silver Bracket, there's not going to be any drop-off because the competition between these 2 teams is fierce.
It is. Actually, you and I were talking before we came online, and the reality is there were 5 teams from Three Rivers League this year that made it to the gold bracket, and 4 from the Portland League that Cleveland comes out of. So these 2 teams coming together is a real good indicator that the strength of those 2 leagues this year is just great. So I don't expect any drop-off in play.
You know, and certainly right now, I guess St. Mary's would get the edge for general loudness because that was them swinging into the back Holy smokes. Maybe that's the way they do it in Three Rivers League. You got to start off strong and be loud and say, we're coming to play. Now, when it looks at the records, again, Three Rivers League, strong up top. You've got yourselves, West Lynn, you've got Lake Oswego. So St. Mary's, the Blues, come in 6-13 overall, 2-10 in conference. But they've been hot as of late. We'll talk about that. As for the Cleveland Warriors, 12-8 overall, 2-4 in conference. Cleveland wearing the green, St. Mary's wearing the white and the blue. We're set to get things going as the players get all ready around the circle, and we'll get ready to get things started. Again, some new names out there, some new things, but it looks like LeBlanc for St. Mary's is out there. And along with that, we'll check exactly in a moment. I can't.
It's Camellia Cisco that's doing the draw for Cleveland there.
Got it. So Cisco goes ahead, tries to come up with it, still rolling. She'll chase after it and grabs it and carries it down and into the offensive end of things. So the matchup right away against Lefebvre, and now they get it set up top going over to Walker. Now, you had the opportunity, of course, being in Three Rivers, to face this St. Mary's squad this season. So you kind of know what to expect from them early on. What should Cleveland be expecting from them?
They're going to be sneaky good on defense. Even against us this year, they've got some really, really good players, fast-moving feet, know how to get people in front of them. And they're just, I think you made a good point at the opening. Their record's not indicative of, I think, of how good they actually are. They just have to, face the likes of the Yellows, the Westlands, the Wilsonvilles, the Lake Ridges twice a year, which are all obviously great programs in their own right. So these girls are battle-tested and ready to go.
Yeah, talk about toughening up during the season. That'll get you there. Yeah. Right now, the Warriors trying to look for that little sliver so that they can get in there. But as we mentioned, the Blues doing a great job on that team defense, really sliding off the ball and closing things up quickly. That was something that one of their league mates, Cleveland's league mates, OES, discovered last night against Lake Oswego.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, you're right. Really good slide so far on defense. Probably not the highest percentage shot that Cleveland would want right there, so let's see how the Blues do on their first clear of the night.
Kaylin Walker was the one who let that loose, but the nice save coming in there by Dean Gruber as she gets looking. And again, Cleveland doing a nice job covering everybody. There's really not much room to go there as it comes flying up the near side. It's going to be grabbed there by Shavers. So Jada Shavers is going to take it to the middle and see what she can do. And takes a hard shot right up to the back of the head by Cisco. First whistle of the night as these two teams continue to battle for a championship. And here we go. She keeps running as Shavers, looking to set up in the first time for the Blues in the offensive end of things. I do like the way that OGLA sets this up with two brackets, giving an opportunity, and they're starting to actually do that. They're thinking about doing that in football, in 6A as well, maybe taking a page out of your guys' book as well as they dump it in front. There's a shot. That one sneaks by the keeper but slides over to the right and doesn't get in.
Nice pickup by Cleveland there. See if they can get it clear. You brought up a good point about the goal or the Silver Cup. We started in 2016, and I think nights like tonight are exactly the kind of culmination you want.
So right now, here comes, for a moment, St. Mary's had it, but instead on the loose ball, it's grabbed there by Cisco. She'll quickly push it on up to Joachim. Whistle, but she'll just keep running. Goes cross in front, an opportunity there, but they back away. Coming down the slot, here's the shot, another save, but I thought I heard a whistle.
I think we're going to get a shooting space.
Olivia Taylor was cruising down the middle trying to get the shot off. She did. But like you say, the shooting space, or lack thereof, caused the whistle.
Yeah, and for those who are new to lacrosse, that's our safety protocol, if you will. If there's a girl in the line of the player who's looking to shoot, just for safety reasons, we call that a foul and essentially give them a free throw.
Taylor doesn't have that one, hits off the back iron. Or maybe the stick that time. It was a nice save by Dean Gruber. Going with the free throw thought that you had. Whistles blown. Cisco picks it up. And a nice job by the Warriors to deny the Blues an opportunity to get it out.
And one of the best rule adjustments we've had in the last 5 years is this continuous play. We used to, jokingly call lacrosse red light, green light, because every whistle would cause the game to stop. But we've evolved on the rules, so if there's no huge advantage and another shooting space, it looks like they just allowed the girls to play, even though you might hear a whistle.
And you see that in the NC2A level as well. They just keep going. And the more that they can, I think, make those alterations, hey, the next thing that might be coming is the shot clock. That's always a possibility out there. They've done that in the NC2A and had a really positive response. Now it's over on the near side. Looks like Walker had it. She's going to back out and let the Warriors set up. 20:34 to go here, so the first 5 minutes kind of just getting used to each other. Yeah. Here we go. Spin move up top. Moving in, and another whistle. Apparently 2 whistles don't work, 1 does, because it's been the same official blowing the same whistle so far for the first 5 minutes.
Exactly.
We got a player down, a Blues player. May have crashed into one of the pipes. I did not see that.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good collision there at the crease.
Looks like that is Annie Lefevre. Is that? Nope, that's not Lefevre, that's Shavers. Is that Shavers? Shavers, number 3. Up a little slow.
Yeah, Jada Shavers.
Shavers is one of those players, gets the ground balls, causes the turnovers. 20, we'll make that 28 and 15 of those respectively. She'll come off and just take a breather.
Yeah.
We'll see what that was. I don't know what part of her body seemed to either hit the ground or hit the pipe. She's pointing to the top of her head.
Yeah, let's hope it's not a concussion so she can get back out there.
Moving slow. They're going to set it up on the 8 meters for... They're going to give it again to Cleveland. Cleveland's going to start off with its Lloyd Bartolotti. She's got a little bit of space. Let's see what happens. Comes in, takes the shot. Another save by Dean Gruber. She's been outstanding so far.
Really good stop. Really good stop. That was right on the doorstep, and she just stuffed it.
Missed on the outlet to Murphy over on the far side, so the Warriors will get it back. So as great as Dean Gruber has been, a little bit of the struggle, maybe nerves or whatnot, is on those clearing balls right now.
Absolutely. This is where St. Mary's wants to be careful because they don't want to gas themselves too early, running up and down the field with Cleveland and turning it into a track meet.
Near side, belongs to Rupi. Comes out for Cisco. Gets an edge, cuts in, takes the shot left side. That's goal number 1 of the night.
Yeah. And a really nice move with her left hand, bringing it back to the right hand and getting a nice shot right at the doorstep. Got the goalie to move a little bit, get off center, and bury that in the upper left.
Well, they've been looking for that opportunity, and Cleveland finally got it. So now an opportunity for St. Mary's to not have to worry about the clear. They're going to start up here and see what they can do on these draws. Cisco looking like she's going to get set up there. But let's see who she's going to draw with. This is going to be Evie Kim.
Yeah, and Evie's one of their better players. Having seen her a couple times this year, she's a great defender, one of their better offensive players. Actually leads their team in ground balls and draw controls.
See what happens on this one. Got a little help. Nope, that one grabbed away once again by Bartolotti. She fires it up the left side, and here comes Cleveland looking to start things again. Last night, if you saw the games where you were here, you really saw how the draw controls, the wins there, made all the difference in the early going.
Possessions is 9/10 of the law, they say, and in lacrosse, it's just about everything. It's very, very rare that a team's going to win if they're not controlling that part of the stat category.
And what was so impressive, actually, with LO was that it was a freshman out there all night. We're like, oh, she's small, she's a freshman. Oh, boy, held her own with Cameron Gabrielson of OES, and it was just impressive. There's, again.
That's going to be a foul up on the shoulders. Well, and one of the things that's impressive about that LO player, not only just being a freshman, but it's very rare in Oregon high school lacrosse to have a FOGO, where a gal comes out, does the draw, and then pops back off. But she's so good at it that Coach Anderson's been able to sort of integrate her into the offense that way.
Now I'm going to have to take exception here on the FOGO because there is no foe to go, so we changed that to the Drago for girls. The Drago.
Very good. Very
so,
good.
And a nice reference that actually you might get. Sean Hansen, who was here with me last night, she didn't understand the Rocky reference to Ivan Drago. So some viewers might understand that, but I think we go with the Drago. I think that could work.
The Drago works just fine.
And we're starting it. I don't know that it's been used anywhere else.
I think there's a T-shirt in there somewhere.
There certainly is. Left side, Cleveland trying to set it up.
It's going to be another shooting space.
So right now, again, while those slides are happening, apparently they're happening and going into the wrong particular place. That time it called against Barrett Brecky, number 20. So now an opportunity. Sometimes Cleveland's jerseys are really tough to read.
Yes.
But once again, I see that's Walker out there. Loose ball in front, picked up by Walker.
Yeah, the second chance opportunities that Cleveland's getting here just in these early minutes is going to help them in the long run, because it's just going to tire out St. Mary's defense if it keeps going like this.
Taking a look down at that bench, still sitting there is Jada Shavers. She has not gotten off the bench. They're just working with her a little bit. As right now, a couple players collide in the front. Cisco tries to get a shot off. It's blocked in front by Murphy. But now we've got another whistle.
I think Cleveland's going to hang onto the ball here. I think the umpire was just calling it for safety to give that player a chance to get up, get kind of regathered, get her goggles back on.
After that collision, we're still working on that. Taking a look, that was, again, Joachim. She's ready. And so is Cleveland. 1-0 the score. We're about 8 minutes into this one. Mostly on defense for the Blues so far. They've actually been very strong keeping the Warriors out. Walker tries to find a hole, tries to go to Joachim, but she turns it over. So here they come the other direction. Lefevre quickly up the field. Watch out for Lefevre. She's their leading goal scorer, number 2 right there.
Yeah, and she's one of the players that you can point to tonight is somebody who's going to have to produce for them inside the circle tonight.
38 goals, 27 assists for her. That means she's involved. She's trying to create in there. Stutter step move, comes in front, gets the shot. Bam. Just like you said it, she gets it.
And what I liked about that play is she dodged to hit the wall, but then re-dodged. And that's something for young players to really understand, that just because you hit the wall once doesn't mean you can't come back for it again. So high level of lax IQ for her on getting them on the board.
So the time of that goal, once the graphics come off the scoreboard, I'll tell you what the time of that goal was.
Yeah, fans probably can't see it at home, but I dare say Oregon City's got the fanciest electronic scoreboard in the state of Oregon right now.
There is no doubt. That's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
All right, 16:30, the time of that one, 1-1. And just like you said it, Lefevre shows up, and that is her 39th goal on the year.
Looks like they're making a little change on the draw here as well.
Yeah, so Lefevre. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, and then Coach will probably mix that up from time to time, just depending on how they're going. Every coach has got a little different strategy. If somebody gets hot, then they'll let them ride that hot hand for a while. But if they don't feel like they're getting, and then swapping that person out, it's going to be pretty common.
Cisco and Walker have both been very strong for Cleveland in the circle. 54 for Cisco and 89 for Walker.
Yep.
Walker hasn't even taken one yet.
Yeah, I know.
So again, Cleveland just taking their time. Couple of players running through, just trying to spread out on the man-to-man defense employed by the Blues. There's some opening. Loved Sean talk last night as they come in front, take the shot, get the goal.
Nice roll dodge, really nicely played. Set the defender up just right, hooked the leg, and was able to roll right to the front doorstep. Really nice goal.
Bartolotti with the goal, her 30th on the year.
Freshman number 19, Bartolotti.
You know, Bartolotti, that's another freshman. We've been hearing a lot about the freshmen on all of these teams.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're showing the charisma, the strength, and the moves in there. I think that's probably what's most impressive. In seeing that. You don't expect that. Usually you're like, oh, they've got to have a couple years of maturity or whatnot. Maybe it's just that boys are completely unable to walk and chew gum for their first 2 years. Girls are usually much better at that at a younger age.
Well, and a lot of credit is due to Coach Tomlinson. She has really built this program back up from the ground. She's definitely one of those we consider part of the OG. She has been involved in Oregon lacrosse for as long as I can remember, and that's over 20 years. So she just continues to pour her heart into these girls and build this program. So seeing girls like that who are freshmen coming up is a good indication she's got the program going in the right direction.
St. Mary's with it. Evie Kim grabs that one, and she'll move it around. just down 1 as we're at 15:34 here in the first half. Really hasn't been back and forth, but I think that's where the Blues have to feel really good. Just 2-1. A shot opportunity that time coming down the center for LeBlanc.
Yeah, going to be a crease violation. I think the Blues player stepped right on the crease.
Got in there, maybe focusing more on the ball since she wasn't able to control it right away. And
Correct.
yep, that left foot went. So they go fire it inside to Vestal, and Vestal's looking for a little help.
Yep.
That was different. Vestal tossed it behind for Einstein. Einstein's going to try and get out there, look and see if she goes ahead and fires it up the sideline. Nope. She's got players wanting it. Nice hesitation move. But now she loses the ball. St. Mary's, the Blues employ a great defense and create the turnover. Here she comes, Lefevre, up ahead, shot, save that time by Vestal.
Great series, great stop by the keeper on that one.
That's the hardest one on the night for Vestal as she went ahead and put the whole body out there. Again, Lefevre. Hesitation, spin move back to her left. Vestal's right there to turn her away. That Lefevre versus Cisco matchup's going to be
a good one.
Those two are going to be tired, not only overall, but of each other, I think, by the end of this game.
Exactly. And with the double on her right now, somebody on her team is open. She's just not quite able to see it yet. But good defense by Cleveland.
Cisco knocks the ball free, creates the turnover, picks it up, wants to send it up the sideline. Bouncing around, it looks as though...
I think it's going to be St. Mary's ball. But that was a really nice outlet. Obviously, the pass didn't connect, but that's what you want to do on a clear.
And then Irina Langer came up for St. Mary's, actually applying that pressure to knock it free and get it out of bounds. She was right there to pick it up. So instead, it's LeBlanc. LeBlanc,
I'd
go
like to
ahead.
see St. Mary's actually try to get some screens and some action because it's really kind of been ISO ball so far.
Cycling in was Anestvet. Whistle blown. She's going to start on the 8, I think.
Yep, looks like they're going to call a push, and she'll get her free position.
Maya Anestvet. See what she does. So far in the year, 13 goals. Gets in, shot, saved again by Vestal. Now we've got whistles blown before the goal was actually scored.
I think it was another crease violation.
Oh, goodness. Yep.
No goal.
So goalie ball.
And Vestal trying to get it out, but not getting it very far. However, that one winds up in the right stick. On the far side, just keep running. Cleveland looking to bring it up the far sideline.
Good pressure so far on the ride from St. Mary's, though. 2 clears in a row, definitely getting out and being physical.
King did a nice job bringing it up the sideline, and now they get into the offensive things up for Bartolotti. She goes to the outside, but an errant pass missing Joachim, and so now that's a turnover. And St. Mary's will head the other direction. So again, when we go back to that Three Rivers, from watching what I saw last night with West Lynn playing and Lake Oswego playing, a lot of pressure in the middle, like no free space at all.
No.
On the defensive end. And now I'm sitting here watching St. Mary's, and I'm like, somebody's been watching film because they seem to be doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Cleveland is not used to that pressure bringing the ball up like that.
And again, I think that's why this is such a good format and a good matchup, seeing these two teams work their way through the silver bracket, that they were clearly, while not the top tier of their leagues, right there.
Yeah.
And again, we talked about at the top with 5 Three Rivers teams going to the gold bracket and 4 from the Portland League going. It was a tough place to find some room to get into the playoffs any old way.
Lefevre carrying it through, trying to create an odd woman rush, gets it over onto the wing. This time to Wendell. Wendell slows it down, tries to use a screen. Now they'll just set up. As they do, Kim.
Like I said, I'd really like to see St. Mary's actually run some kind of up-top action and see if they're going to do something other than ISO.
Yeah. ISO or just a simple pick and roll.
Yep.
And again, right now, you're going to tire out. You might tire out Lefevre. I don't know. Maybe Lefevre can go all day.
Exactly.
But right now, she's just sitting down there in the corner. Dumps it in off the roll, but it's stolen away by Cleveland. Nice play by Bartolotti to steal it away. Gets it up for Walker in transition. Walker on the man and just misses with the pass.
Just missed. Really beautiful. That's the beautiful part of lacrosse, when you can see it clear, progressing like that. Tic-tac-toe, getting it up the field. Unfortunate little error on that toss, but otherwise it was looking like it was going to be a nice exchange.
Bringing it across, Langer induces the push, but now she'll just keep going. Somebody's got to stop her. It looks like it's going to be Einstein.
Einstein's really their best defender for Cleveland. First team all-league. And as we talked about earlier, she's a legacy. Her mother's also a bit of a legend in Oregon girls lacrosse. So our announcer tonight, Jeff Scruggs, and I were talking earlier. We remember when Ellie was in her mom's belly. So to see her out here now, all these years later, is just great.
Lefevre the shot, and another save that time by Vestal. Vestal picks it up and looks to get it out to Bartolotti, and Bartolotti's going to try and bring it up the near side on the left hand. Players got to move away. They do. That one goes a little bit far. Loose ball on the 50-50, picked up by St. Mary's, and here come the Blues. Olivia Karen on up ahead for Wolf. Wolf looking for somebody coming down the slot. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it was good recognition on her part. Just get the ball down. They didn't have numbers in the transition there, so get down there and try to set something up.
Right now, it looks like Cleveland's struggling a little bit when they're going ahead and trying to transition from defense to offense in terms of spacing. They're getting too close, which it looks like a couple of teams. OES was having the same issue with that last night against LO.
Absolutely.
Right now, again, behind.
Yeah, there's the movement I was hoping to see out of St. Mary's. Some cutters coming from top, trying to see if they can get an opening. I think that's going to be the long-term recipe for success tonight. Trying to do one-on-one ball would be a tough matchup for all night long.
There's no doubt. I was just watching Cisco cut through, and we've got a whistle blown. She was cutting through. She was dead. She looked tired.
Yeah.
Just let her player go, and just after she'd run past where she might get the pass, she just, okay, I can breathe for a moment. But 22 out there with the long ponytail, blonde ponytail, she's tired.
Well, actually, she just got called for 3 seconds, which sometimes is what we call a tired penalty, where somebody's so gassed, they're not quite sure where they're at, what their surroundings are. They just get caught in the 8-meter for longer than they should.
St. Mary's trying to pass it up top. They'll slow down. But we just talked about that. And sure enough, that is exactly what was going on. So maybe she planned that, kind of got an extra little bit of a break in front. Shot one, did that go in? They're saying it was a goal. That scored by Maya Anesbit.
Got a nice break. Ball broke the plane, hit the top bar, and came down.
For the Blues, freshman number 10, Maya Anesbit.
Time of that goal, 7:51. We'd been quiet there for about 8 minutes, and all of a sudden we got ourselves a 2-2 game for Anesbit on the year. That's her 14th goal for the freshman. And, you look down this list, you look at the freshmen, they're producing points, they're doing the little things, they're getting ground balls, creating turnovers. You're always sad to see seniors go. They mean so much to programs. They leave legacies, but at the same time, that legacy just immediately goes down to the junior, sophomores, and freshmen.
Absolutely. And if you go back and look at some of the past Silver Cup winners, whether it was a Lake Ridge or a Hood River, you see those programs then and the following years, they have a really good chance of moving up to the gold. And with having this many good freshmen under Coach Tomlinson, I've got a feeling you'll see these guys fight for a spot. Grant is another great example from the Portland League, where that was a program almost dead in the water completely. Yeah. And my God, we played against them this year, and those McDevitt girls that are on that squad are just so much fun to watch. So the Portland League's got a lot of good stuff coming.
On the far side, that's another win for the Blues. Picking it up on the wing over there is Kim, and she'll bring it in. 2-2. The Blues looking for their first lead of the night. see what they can get. Earlier, we mentioned teams coming along in the playoffs. They toppled South Eugene 18-12 in the first round. Here's Lefevre cutting in. He's got the opportunity. Shot saved again by the keeper as Vestal makes another one. Flag waved off as St. Mary's comes up with possession. We were saying South Eugene in the first round. Then they beat Mountainside 11-6. And they've been a team, St. Mary's, kind of struggling to find their offensive gear, but they have picked it up in the postseason.
Definitely. Yeah, I was looking at their season averages today. And, again, back to the Three Rivers thing. They're playing such tough defenses. So you knew there was an offense in there waiting once they got to play against some teams that were maybe not as high as the top tier in TRL.
Nora Casey is up top. Has the 8-meter at the 8-meter ready. Pushing everybody just a little further out. There's the quick shot. She misses wide.
Good backup.
Yep, Cora Wendell was right there. And St. Mary's gets another. And now, again, what was so impressive, sometimes, you go into the playoffs, you want to be riding a high. Well, going back to Three Rivers, they weren't riding a high. They had just faced the top teams in their final 3 games. And honestly, they got shellacked. But the great thing was Coach Tomlinson able to use that and propel them to 2 big wins in the playoffs and find themselves in the Silver Championship right now, which says a lot about the coaching staff. It says a lot about the young girls that are playing over there at St. Mary's.
Absolutely.
Downtown Portland.
And I think it also helps validate why we do the Silver Cup. Giving these kids a great opportunity, a great chance to keep playing a few more weeks, some more practices, keep building their skills, and to get a chance to compete so that when you come back next year, you hopefully have lifted it up.
Because nobody wants to end their season like that. Bang, 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 the way they did in the regular season. And now, but to end it this way with the potential of a championship or even being in the championship is a great way to carry on that success and that feeling of we are getting better, we are improving, and they certainly have. But so is Cleveland as well, as they're bringing it on up, looking for something. Einstein gets it down to Cisco in the corner, and they'll look to retake the lead.
Yeah, and that was such a great
shot and a goal. There it is. Olivia Taylor puts that one in the back.
I was just going to point out on that pass from Einstein for the kids out there watching, that left-handed pass. You can't tell what hand is her strong hand. That was just a purpose. Kept it away from the defender on the outside, fed it down with the left hand, makes that connection, tic-tac-toe, and a great goal.
So a timeout is called on the field. Now, normally that's with possession, so they're going back to center. I'm going to think that's St. Mary's that made the call on that.
It was, yes.
It was, okay.
But they'll bring it back to the draw circle here after the timeout.
But I was just sitting here thinking to myself, all right, now, wait a second. 3-2, you're a coach. With what you've seen, the back and forth, why with 5 minutes left in that first half are you taking one of those timeouts?
Gas in the tank.
All right, so, there it is.
Yeah, I would say and if it were me, that's actually both these teams have got about 3-4 players on their benches, so not tremendously deep, but if you're getting in this much of a track meet, up and down, low-scoring game where possession is going to be probably the key, not a bad spot because you're close. You're not like getting hammer-struck and have to just really calm down. This is the coaches probably saying, hey, let's give these girls a break. The weather is a lot better than it's been all year, so it's a little warmer. They might be a little more fatigued. Just a chance to give them some water, have a quick check-in, maybe make some adjustments.
Now, taking a look down there, we got to keep an eye on Jada Shavers, number 3 on St. Mary's. She was on the bench. I'm looking for her out in this huddle, and we'll try to see if she's planning on coming back out or what they're doing with her. But
I don't see her out there, but I also don't see the St. Mary's trainer with her.
Right, exactly.
Oh, there she is. She is in the huddle.
She is in the huddle. You see her now?
Yep.
Okay.
Right in front of 22 there.
All right. Oh, there you go. Right. So that's good to see that she's
good to see she's up.
She's part of this right now, but at the same time, we'd just like to see her get back out there and, of course, maintain her health got early. And I haven't seen a player down like that in some time.
No, she definitely took a shot. And the nice thing about games like this is when it comes to the concussions and some of those hard plays, the officials are the one that are given purview over all that stuff. They can actually say, hey, we're seeing signs. We're going to ask the player to step off until they can be checked by the trainer.
Oh, that's great.
Run them through the protocol. So the game's got really good safety measures in place for just that kind of situation.
Good. Nice to hear all of that. By the way, speaking of more games, we've got another one coming up on Friday. I want to let everybody know it is the state championship. LO versus Jesuit. And by the looks of those semifinal victories they had last night, that's going to be one heck of a game. Earlier this year, Jesuit took down Lake Oswego, but with Lake Oswego now being in their 15th final in the last 18 years, and Jesuit trying to win 2 in a row and in their 3rd straight final, I don't know that you could ask for anything more right now.
It's the 2 best programs in the state right now for sure. Coach Anderson has got her team really, really tuned up. Coach Blumhardt as well. So I think what the fans are going to see on Friday night is going to be a real treat.
The sledgehammer there on the sidelines, a little intimidating when she brings that out. I'm kind of like, is she going to sit there and ask the other coach, all right, hey, you try and then I'll try it so you can swing this better?
Who's going to win the prize at the carnival?
Because I think Lawrence is going to win that just about every time.
Exactly.
So we're back out at center now. 3-2, the Warriors leading the Blues with 5:17 to go in our first half. Taking another look, Lefevre out again for the draw. Players shading each other on the sides. That one picked up by Cleveland for a moment. Joachim had it but could not retain control, and here come the Blues. Quickly up the middle, moving to the right, cuts in front, bouncer and off the crossbar. What an opportunity by Casey.
Great look.
So far, they're trying to, can't throw it through 3 players sometimes as it's picked up, taken away by Wright. Madeline Wright had that.
I think Coach Tomlinson is definitely keen on a few of these St. Mary's players and saying, hey, we're going to take the risk and send 2 or 3 defenders at her and see if they can generate these kinds of turnovers.
So they get set over there.
Got the defender 4 meters back.
Now it comes over on the near side. Touched up by King. King gets it on up ahead for Joachim. Going over the end line, though, is nope, just able to get.
She saved it.
Yep, she did. Close there.
Well, their clears have been, for the most part, really, really good on the Cleveland side. That was a great draw and dump, just a little over her head.
So here comes Lefevre the other direction. She's matched up with Denning. Denning's trying to slow her down and rub her off towards that blue line if she can. Nice move by Lefevre to spin back.
That's good positioning on her part, trying to go where she's going to be instead of just trying to keep up with her.
So now St. Mary's gets things set up. Looks for a pass in front. Shot. That one in. Yes. Snuck over the end line. I think we'll see who they give that to. That was number 8, Evie Kim.
Yeah, Evie was one of the ones we talked about at the top where she's definitely one of their better players. 90 ground balls, 93 draw controls, second on the team with goals coming into the game with 27. So she's definitely one of the big cogs in their wheel.
And sometimes last night, Sean talked a lot about when you see the ponytail, that's when you break.
When you go.
And I just said, all right, so my team would have shaved heads. First of all, that would be kind of important. But I love that call. That makes total sense because if they turn their head at all and you can see that ponytail, boom, that's when you go. Evie did just that. She saw it. She broke right down the middle. She was all alone and able to do it. All right, we will go to Lefevre on the false start. So St. Mary's, again, looking to take that lead. They haven't been able to do it yet, but with 3:12 to go here in the first half, we'll see what they can come up with.
And your point on the ponytail, Coach Sean is right on. And I always tell lacrosse, this is a basketball game with sticks on a soccer field. And you just take those principles that these kids learn in all those different sports and meld it on this field, and they do great.
Well, you got to add on the fact that it's also in a car, because I learned yesterday that you got to keep the sticks between 10 and 2.
That's
right. Like driving.
That's right.
We got driving in there. You got hockey. Man, what sport, what activity don't you have?
Exactly.
Eating maybe cooking, but I'm sure we could find something in there. Over on the side now, it belongs to Enisvet. She has a goal earlier. Would love to try and add one right now, but nice defense on the slide by the Warriors. Lefevre Wants it. Gets the push. She'll start. Not in the best position. This is a harder one to start
really
from that
tough
side.
one. Yeah, it's a really tough angle. Looks like she's not even going to set up to go to cage. Cleveland's given up an opportunity. They could put a defender to her right, so maybe she'll just take it down low and look for a feed coming from top.
Sure enough, going low. Who's going to come down that middle? Nobody yet. Evie Kim makes the first run. There's the second one in front, trying to push it in, but it's stopped that time again by Vestal. She'll look to get it out, and the clear has been the problem so far for Cleveland.
Yeah.
They're throwing it the wrong direction, but they're able to come up with it, and so Einstein heads up the right side. She needs a little bit of help.
Great trail check. Oh, yeah, it's going to be St. Mary's ball. The ball was in her stick at the time it was checked. Even though it was in her stick, it rolls out. You're going to change possession.
So Cleveland thinks they got it. Einstein went over to get it.
That's the
St.
right
Mary's
call.
actually gave it to her.
Yeah, it's the right call. Sometimes for the fans, they don't quite understand what's going on, but it's if the ball is in that player's stick when they're checked, then it's going to be the other team's ball.
Lefevre sliding through, has room, bounces, goal for Lefevre, and gives St. Mary's their first lead with $1:20 to go here in the first half.
Really nice spin move, taking the momentum in that transition and getting right in front of the cage and then picking her spot.
So for Lefevre, that's number 40 on the year. She continues to tally them, but a great move, just, again, taking what is given to her, blocked on her right, spun back to the left, and made the quick hand change. Again, sometimes it's those little things you can do. That's what the one thing I love about lacrosse is that you don't need somebody on the other side of the net. No. You don't need a bunch of other players. You don't need anything other than a wall. You can sit there and work the wall all day and improve your skills.
Yep.
I'm just learning, by the way, because my son just learned as an 8th grader about this game, and at 6'2", 240, he's excited. He's all in. I get a hold of stick and I get to hit people. That's a great game.
That's a little boy's dream, right?
Yes, it kind of is. So learning more about it and loving what we all see. Nice job again by Kim to pick that one up. She'll carry it up there. Can they get one more in the final 70 seconds of this first half? St. Mary's has been battling, holding their own. Kim ready to come in. Oh, she has a player right there in front in Enisvet. Couldn't get it to her. Now she does, but not in a place to shoot. So let's see as the clock continues to wind. Enisvet blocked, shielded away. Tries to go left, tries to go right, but again, nice defense by the Warriors. Sliding over and getting that was right. She helped out, but here comes St. Mary's, and right down the lane goes Nora LeBlanc with the goal.
That was initially really good defense by Cleveland to hold off that first barrage, but sometimes what happens is after that first push, the defense relaxes just a little bit, and boom, that hole opens back up, and that's the smart Lax IQ player is going to recognize that and just go to cage, and then that's exactly what happened.
Nora picks up her 27th goal on the year, so she's right there, number 3 in scoring on that team.
Absolutely.
And she is a dynamite player for St. Mary's. You well know, because of course you faced her so often. 5-3, so once down 2-1, they find themselves up, having outscored the Warriors 4-1 over the last 15 minutes.
Well, lacrosse definitely can be a game of runs, and I know Cleveland's got more runs in them, and St. Mary's wants to try to rack up as many as they can before the next run comes.
The draw so critical here. The last thing Cleveland wants to do is give up a quickie right here before the end of the half. So important for Cisco to try and get the victory here. She goes right after it, and gets it and goes. She says, I'm going to close this gap myself. Right down the middle, wants it, has teammates right and left, spins back to her right, takes the shot. Great save there by Dean Gruber.
Great save.
Solid shot by Cisco, but maybe a little bit rushed. There was more time.
Yeah, for sure. And they had numbers, definitely as fast break opportunity. I would have liked to have seen her move the goalie a little bit before taking that shot.
Dean Gruber gets it out towards midfield, but that's enough to go ahead and run out the clock on our first half, where our score is 5-3 with the Blues leading the Warriors. Ben and I will take a break, and when we come back, we'll lead you into the second half, talk about what we saw, talk about what we expect. That's all coming up. Don't go away. You're watching the championship of the Silver League coming up. Second half, right around the corner.
Everything else that your mother won't let you have. We'll see you in 7 minutes.
We're back here as there's just about a minute left in halftime. Todd Mansfield along with Ben Finklea. And Ben, you know, we talked a little bit about as we went to break that we were going to discuss, and we still will discuss what's going on, but I think one of the more important things for St. Mary's fans is Jada Shavers, who took that shot earlier in the game. She's been out. They've been working with her. She's now running up and down the sideline. They're putting her through a concussion protocol, if you will, to double check on her.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts as a head coach right now?
Well, first of all, it's great that the trainer is the one that's going to dictate the answer. No matter how much the coach would want her back in, it's going to all be up to the trainer making that decision. The fact that she's running is good. That the trainer's now looking at is, are there any headache symptoms? Are there any, slurred speech? All the usual things we run in our 10-point checklist on a concussion. So as long as she clears that, then there's a good chance he's going to let her back on the field, which I think for St. Mary's would be a big plus.
And he's really trying to keep her on the line as she goes sidestepping down and sidestepping back. So you're not seeing this, but they're doing a great job making sure that she's safe before they even consider bringing her back out. Now, let's talk about this game. 5-3, Blues up at the half. They've outscored Cleveland 4-1 in the last 15 minutes. What does Cleveland need to do to either regain the lead or kind of find themselves right back in this game? Because St. Mary's kind of is enforcing their will a little bit.
Without a doubt. I think if Cleveland comes out and does exactly what they did at the start of the first half, but limits the turnovers, because I think that's where they started to break down and get gassed a little bit, where their middies were just burning out. So if they can get down, take some long possessions on offense, really slow it down, work the ball and tire out St. Mary's defense, then they've got a good shot to crawl back in.
Sean was talking last night about the fact that sometimes you're bringing it up the side, look for that pass inside the hash marks, not at the numbers. That's
right.
Too close.
Right.
Get the spacing, and therefore you can go ahead and make even though it's longer, it's an easier pass because usually there's more space.
Absolutely. Well, and as we teach them as they're young, it's a ton faster to pass a ball up the field than it is to run a ball up the field.
Coach, you haven't seen me run, though. I am so fast. I'm the fastest one in my family. I think that's probably what they all say.
So then you're going to be perfect at lacrosse then.
But make the pass. That always gets it there faster. Cisco off the draw wins this one, and that gets Cleveland in possession heading into, now again, late sun.
Yep.
You see it in the shot right now when you're looking at Dean Gruber. She's on that side looking straight into the sun.
Right. And, this is such a great old stadium here at Pioneer Memorial that it's one of those fields that does go east-west and sort of north-south and keeps the sun off to the side. But just for this next probably 15, 20 minutes, that sun's going to be a problem for that goalie.
Turnover down there by Cleveland. Ball's loose, 50-50. Was won by St. Mary's, but now this one won back by the Warriors. They'll get another opportunity to try and set things up. Trailing by 2. We're early on in this Silver Bracket Championship game. These two teams have both had to win 2 to get here.
And I think that's what we were talking earlier about why the silver bracket is such a great idea, because out of that, and a good shooting space, or maybe a 3-second, shooting space call, sorry. But anyways, these girls got at least 2 extra weeks of practice.
Yep.
These girls here tonight are getting 3 games, and that cumulative effect definitely will help them next year.
So up top, it's going to be Walker. She cuts in, bounces one in the back of the net. And how about that? Kaylin Walker brings her team within 1.
Nice way to open the second half. Good momentum burst. And again, if they can maintain control of those draws, come down, get in a nice settled offense, and draw a shooting space or draw a charge, and they're going to get themselves back in this right quick.
How about Walker? 72 goals on the year for her. That one, her first of the game, coming at 23-38 of that second half.
Which, coming out of the Portland League, too, that is saying something. That's a tough conference. To rack up that many in a season is really impressive.
38 assists along with that, 54 ground balls. Draw controlled, she's got 89, and sure probably has a few more this evening. So what a stat line for her. Now Cisco's going to try and go ahead and pick up another one. You said early on, and it's all about the circle. It's all about the draw. And right now, that first start looked like Cleveland in the first half.
Yeah, and Cisco looks like she's setting up to what we call push. She's going to try to get it to her right side teammate or to herself, and she's a success in getting it to herself.
She's able to go ahead and beat Evie Kim on that one, and she'll move it on up. Kim stays right on her. and they'll drop it off.
Well, I sure like Cleveland's team speed. They've got a number of athletes out there, and that's really, in this game, is going to be the deciding factor many times, is how many athletes do you have on the field?
Joachim has it, sets it up behind, and here they go again. Catching their breath a little bit, but looking for that opening as they move it around. Up top. Warriors looking for some players running through the middle. Not there. Ball knocked away. Nice defensive play by the Blues, and it's picked up by Lefevre.
It's a nice defensive slide by the Blues.
Lefevre just holds that 1 yard edge as she carries it all the way through into the offensive end. Somebody's got to pick her up. They finally do. She'll spin back, wants to get off a shot, but smartly pulls it back out.
Yeah, wise move on her part. Full field run for her. Let's get it down, slow the ball down, everybody catch their breath and see if we can run a play.
No reason to have a turnover and have to turn around and run the other way.
Exactly.
Lefevre down the middle, slides through, gets it, shoots, and scores again. Lefevre with her third on the night.
Nice inside roll. Was able to avoid the defenders and get, on all her goals tonight, I've noticed she's getting them point blank. She's getting right on the doorstep, which obviously from a percentage standpoint is going to be your best option.
She is putting it together, there's no doubt, and she's got that spin move down, and it just seems that whether or not, and she can go either way. She can shoot off the right spin or the spin to the left. Either way, she's able to go, and that ambidexterity is definitely paying dividends tonight with a hat trick.
For sure.
And for her, we take a look at her numbers, and she's got a total of, what did I write it down? It's 41 goals now with the 3 on the night. Leading the way for the Blues. St. Mary's trying to wrap things up with a championship tonight and a 7th win on the season. Cleveland wants their 13th in a championship. 6-4 our score with 22 to go.
A false start on that.
Evie Kim saying, me?
What did I do? Me? Who? What?
But either way, Cleveland comes up with it, and Cisco will start things off.
And that's 2 false starts this half, which we don't penalize like in boys if you have false starts like that, but that's definitely going to hurt them.
So LeBlanc went for it, just missed as she tried to jump the gap. Walker comes up instead. So again, a great offense-defensive matchup. On the slide.
Good help defense by 25 there.
There's the hesitation and the shot and the goal by Walker. You spoke directly to that earlier. Sometimes they won't let you in the first time, but it's that second one that they do.
Right. It was just as 25 made that initial nice stop and then sort of slid back and relaxed, and Walker, boom, took advantage of it and found herself right around the corner.
So these two teams just kind of trading punches. And you talked about it in the first half. You knew Cleveland would have a run in them. They haven't shown it yet, but just a couple of goals in a row, and all of a sudden Cleveland wouldn't mind trading goals. But right now they're like, let's stop trading goals. So
exactly.
Comes down to Cisco again, and Evie Kim out at center on the draw. Up high it is. Trying to pick it up. Evie Kim hustling over there on the far side. 50-50 ball, however, belongs to Bartolotti.
So that's 3 draw controls essentially in a row for these guys, which is what they're going to need to crawl all the way back. Oh, and our number 3 is back in the game.
I was just looking for her along the sideline, and Jada Shavers has been cleared. Little high on that pass, but St. Mary's catches a break, and they'll get the ball back. Nope, they're not? Oh, it was tipped.
Tipped.
Okay.
They'll stay with Cleveland.
So Cleveland stays in the offensive end of things. Joachim taking her time, trying to even things up. Cleveland had the early lead, just a 1-goal lead early. But that was all they were going to get. Oh, Walker wanted it again, just rolling off that lazy screen up top. Oh, she had Cisco cutting through the middle.
She's really being good with her patience here. Didn't force anything, no bad passes.
Up top, backing out this time. Taylor says, I'm not going to force that.
And this is really going to, I think, be the key for Cleveland. The more they can hold and possess and get good, clean shots, not only will they get back to even with St. Mary's, but they'll give them a shot long term.
Walker wants something. There's the pass in front. Shot just missed on the left side. Joachim had it, and Walker saying, oh, man, I set you up.
That one back. Yeah,
they do want it back. And I was taking a look at Walker's numbers, and she has 38 assists. The next closest is 17.
Oof.
After that, everybody's in single digits.
Yep.
Everything goes through Walker. There's a pass in front. Cisco, the shot and a goal to tie it up as she goes down on the turf with the low.
What Cisco did so well on that shot is she got the ball, came around, put on a little hitch pump fake low, got the goalie to go low, and as she was coming back up, then fired and got it through the wickets.
Cisco needs one more to get to 50 on the season, but now our score is tied at 6-6, and it appears as, again, it will be St. Mary's calling a timeout. The last time they did it, it paid big dividends. We'll see what happens this time for Coach Sydney Sierra.
Good call on her part, I think. Don't let this thing get out of hand, get too far away. Give the girls a chance to take a breather, grab some water. Like we were talking about earlier, this is the first day of the year any of these girls have played a game in above 70 weather, so it's been unseasonably cold, and that's going to probably cause a little bit more fatigue than they're normally used to.
And tonight, a little more humid even, I'd say, more than last night.
Exactly.
So it's something you got to watch for. It's just it is a challenge. And then Friday, of course, is supposed to pour. We're back to normal spring and summer here in Portland.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, if you're thinking about moving here from California, just want you to know it rains all the time.
That's right.
So stay down
there. Stay there. Grandma and Grandpa who are watching, you can come visit.
That's right. We'll open the doors and dry you off, but we're not letting you stay too long.
Exactly.
But right now we've got a great game, and I get the feeling that we're going to see a game much like this when we do Friday's game.
For sure.
We're talking about Jesuit and Lake Oswego, two talented teams. And as we mentioned coming into the broadcast, we go back to the whole silver bracket. You basically have an opportunity here for evenly matched teams to come out and play. And we wound up not having that in our semifinal two games, as there were two teams that were just that night
clearly
were superior.
Yep.
But tonight, this has been fantastic. We got lead changes, swings back and forth. We got girls doing somersaults on the sidelines. All sorts of things are happening.
That must be a new way to stretch the back out.
I guess so. Got to give credit where it's due.
No, and I think you're right on. Tomorrow or Friday night's game is going to be, an epic battle. You've got two great teams, greatly coached teams. Elo comes in with 10 seniors plus a great crop of freshmen, as does Jesuit's got, in my opinion, the best freshman in the state on their squad. So it's going to be a heck of a matchup. And it'll be nice to have a championship, having lost the championship to COVID in 2020 and 21. So it's great that the kids get a chance to get back out and compete.
Just to have anybody have that opportunity. And some kids maybe, in other sports, didn't play on varsity as freshmen, lost their sophomore seasons, didn't get anything even though we were back, because remember, the spring is when it cut, the Friday the 13th in 2020 was when it cut off. So no spring there. The next year, no state title. So some freshmen have been waiting until Friday night to get that state title.
Yeah, we were even talking to our girls last night, realizing that, some of those girls who were freshmen who are now juniors, this was the first time they ever got to sniff the playoffs and experience the adrenaline and all that sort of stuff. So absolutely great to be back out.
Cleveland trying to find a way to make it 3 in a row and get the lead back. Had it earlier. And putting on a little bit of a show in the sense of here in the first 6 minutes of this, much like the start of the game, the ball was in their offensive end for most of the first 5 to 6 minutes.
And I'm finding that Cleveland's offense is a little more organized than St. Mary's tonight. This is obviously a design play. They're bringing cutters from top, just sort of trying to lull the Blues to sleep here to see if they can find a crack in that armor.
Either that or they're trying to tire Lefevre out. Here they come. Warriors in front, shoot it. Whoa, that one went a little bit high.
Well, but that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the Blues to overcommit one extra player to either so she can get the spin and come to the cage or find a cutter from up top. So really well executed on the part of the Warriors.
See, it looks like they're setting the same thing up again. Lefevre's like, I'm not chasing this time. I'm going to park myself right by the post. She's a little bit gassed. Cisco wants to come into the middle, has some teammates cutting down the center, and they'll just give it off to Walker. Everybody spreads out, maybe letting Walker go one-on-one here. Moves to her left. When the slide comes, she's got her head up, which is the impressive part. And other players should watch that. She's always looking. Shot save. Ball loose in front. 50-50. Who's going to grab it? Cleveland does. Nice job by Cisco to push it out.
And good defense by St. Mary's by just keeping their sticks 10-2. They're not going horizontal and pushing. They're just keeping that offensive player right in front of them.
Warriors set up, 17-48. They've held it down there for at least a minute and a half.
And this is what you want. You just want to grind this defense down. Get them tired, and eventually find your opportunity.
Warriors start to slide in, put it in front. There was an opportunity. Nice defense to knock that one away on the check. 50-50 ball coming in. Walker. Not to be denied as she goes in there against Murphy.
Walker really seems to be their quarterback, because I've sort of, not having seen them play before tonight, she seems to always be in the right spot, cleaning up those loose balls and directing traffic.
Looking again, completely the head up all the time. Space, had it, backed off. She was looking, and she knew the slide was there, and she was actually looking to her right, looking for that pass, but the teammate wasn't there. Ball checked out, but again, picked up by the Warriors. Coming over to get it is Rupti. And Cleveland will set up again. Langer matched up with Walker. Can she hold her? There's the slide. There's the open player running down the middle. Hesitation move. Walker creates the whistle. She'll start it at the 8.
And a lot of times after an offense running a number of those sets over and over, getting the defense a little bit tired, you're going to get that really good foul like that.
Here comes Walker looking to get it. Oh, nice play there from behind as LeBlanc got her stick in and created an opportunity where that shot went deep.
It was great hustle on defense.
So LeBlanc not giving up even with the free shot there. 16-12 to go now, second half. Tied at 6. Cleveland with it, had it for a moment. Again, that's LeBlanc up top, I believe. Yep.
She's just a good all-around player, that kid.
Walker. Seeing her teammates make runs in the center, spins to her left. There's the pass in front. Shot, score. Beautiful hesitation by Walker. She set that up, and it was an easy one for Cisco, number 50.
They're going to wave it off, though.
Oh,
Goal crease violation. Cisco must have stepped right on the front of that crease, but it's just such a bummer because that was the most beautiful play of the night. That's too bad. That was a great give and go, draw and dump.
And we still hear some booing going on from the stands. But here comes St. Mary's. They're not listening to that. They want the lead back themselves. But beautifully set up. As here comes Lefevre trying to work around the screen. Whistle's going to come.
I think we're going to get a yellow card for a check to the head.
There's the yellow. So heading off is Einstein.
And that's just an inadvertent one. Ellie's not a dirty player at all. Great kid, great player. She was just absorbing that attack from St. Mary's, and unfortunately her stick is in the wrong spot.
So Lefevre already with 3, tries to get another one, and does. Fires that 1-5 hole and gives her team back the lead.
It's a great windup. You don't see that length of an 8-meter shot from an Oregon high school player very often, but that had good velocity. She made a good step to the cage and got it in.
Time of that goal, 15-20. Cleveland has to breathe that one out because, honestly, they had the ball in the offensive end for almost 3.5, almost 4 minutes.
Yep.
And they have to realize that, well, that nothing came out of that, but that 4 minutes down there may set up the next 2 offensive opportunities.
Absolutely. And I think the rest of the night's going to boil down to one word: possession. Who can possess the ball? Who can take good shots? Who can get clean looks, get themselves nice free positions? They get into that track meet. I think Cleveland will have trouble keeping up with St. Mary's in that regard, so hopefully they can get it down and really take their time.
So Lefevre comes off after that one to catch herself a little bit of a break. And again,
another false start.
That's right, false start.
That's the third of the half by my count.
Wolf. this time. Before it was Evie Kim, but apparently a little bit contagious. So now it belongs to Walker, but she gets it off on the far side to Taylor.
So St. Mary's is man up on defense right now, and what they should be doing is this, really pressing out on the ball, because they can double team everywhere on the field right now and really be sliding. Cleveland's going to probably be smart and just try to drain this 2-minute yellow card down to the end before they attack the goal.
So Cisco with it. Gets it down in the corner. Good spacing by Cleveland. Now holding it down in the corner, Presley Rookty.
And St. Mary's really needs to be more aggressive right now, really push out. They can afford to take a few risks right here because they've got the one-man advantage.
But they're just causing one player to run while it looks like the 5 of them are just sitting back deep.
Yep.
So right now the one that's going to run out of gas is Irina Langer. She's all over the place, number 15. Please, give her a break.
And this is where the defense wants to lock off the adjacent pass. Getting good pressure, but just not quite enough.
At the same time, Cleveland might want to keep an eye on the far side because right now there's a lot of ponytails being shown from the far side. And if you can slide in and find yourselves
for sure
right in front when you're down a woman, that
this would be one of those spots where I'd actually like to see Walker and Cisco play a little two-man game, and that they're probably their best stick handlers or ball handlers, being able to get themselves some space. Maybe a third player then flashes in, but who can really make sure that pass is good if they're going to try to go for it, man down.
And they might just be sitting here waiting because right now they got Walker down behind.
Here we go. And we're even. So now we're back to even. They're going to send one over.
Oh, and Walker had it, but a great job coming in. Almost grabbing possession was Jada Shavers as she raced in to knock that one away from Walker. I don't think Walker saw her coming from behind, but Cleveland is able to hold on to possession.
Yeah, I think that was just great strategy by Coach Tomlinson. She knew exactly what she wanted to do there. She wasn't going to risk it too much. Just let that yellow card clock drain off and get herself even before they attack the goal next.
Coach Sierra down here talking with her star player, Annie Lefevre, just giving her some final instructions before they get ready to bring her back in the game. The score 7-6 in favor of the Blues right now. Walker at the goal line extended. Looking for a player. There she is right in front, but she didn't make the pass. Switches back to her right. Walker had the opportunity, but went against it. Now this time, it comes down into the corner. Olivia Taylor has to regain control of it.
Good patience by Cleveland there, though. They didn't take the bad shot. They didn't rush it.
So Taylor looking for Walker. Instead goes the other direction. Over to Bartolotti. Couple players running, spin by Bartolotti. She's in. Goal for Bartolotti. Just patient, waited for the opening and took it.
Beautiful inside roll. Really, really well executed. Knew where the defender was going. She was able to bait her high out on the 8-meter line and then just spin it right back. And again, a lot of these goals by Cleveland as well, I'm noticing they're just getting them dead center right front on the doorstep, and they're hitting pay dirt.
So 7-7 the score now with 12 minutes to go.
It's a great game.
This really is.
This is what you want in a Silver Cup final. This is just great. And I know the St. Mary's goalie's just thrilled as punch that sun is just about down, and it is out of her eyes here finally, so that will help her a bunch as well.
We saw that a little bit last night in the semifinal games when players came around to the top side of the goal, and if they held the ball up high, there was just no way for a goalie to see anything.
Yeah.
They're just blinded.
Just blinded.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's see. This time we've got a good clean draw. Cleveland, yep, Walker's got it. She picks up another DCW, and that's well over 90 now for her on the season.
Yeah, Cleveland to me definitely has controlled the draw so far tonight. As we talked about at the opening, it's very common for the team that's controlling the draw in that given game is gonna win out. So those 3 false starts that St. Mary's had at the beginning definitely were contributing factors to getting that score back to tied.
Allowing the Warriors to get right back in this one, and we're at 7-7. St. Mary's defense, I think, has also been a big star in tonight's contest. Cisco sets a pick, and she rolls right down the lane but didn't get it. But the defense for St. Mary's really just their movement, the way they've been sliding over and helping out, very strong, keeping Cleveland out.
I'm really impressed with the level of fundamental soundness that Coach Tomlinson has drilled into these players. That's a great example where the player's trying to drive in. So many girls would just try to force it and go through, but she had the lax IQ to spin back out, get the ball moving, and keep it going. Playing hot potato.
We have got
it's like a 3-second call. So again,
I'm laughing because Jane Murphy sits. I think they call on Jane Murphy, number 25. She looks down at her foot. She goes, "What do you mean? Look at my foot. Wait, what? What?
Exactly. Well, and in girls lacrosse,
yeah,
if the foot is on the line, you're considered in. So even if you think you're not, if it's just a little bit of that color is covered up by your cleat, you're technically in.
Well, there she was. They made her run all the way across, set up a little bit behind. Now there she's back into position, chasing after Rukti. Cisco wants that spin, trying to set things up. There's the spin. She's got free. She's in front. Shot. Great save that time as Steingruber makes the save, but a whistle afterward. They calling a charge? They are.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. She came in, got the shot, but on the follow-through was a little out of control. Definitely ran into the St. Mary's defender. I think that's the right call.
Well, either way, it was a great move.
Yeah, sure was.
And a super save by Steingruber. Man, Rizal has been stupendous tonight, giving up 7, but she's had some fantastic saves. And look at that, Cisco, great play from behind, steals it away, creates the turnover. And there you have it. And then the heads-up play of Einstein to get out so that there was no issue with too many players and offsides.
Well, looks like we do have an offsides call, though. But it's correct. Okay, and the umpire's basically saying there was an offsides, but it's been corrected. They'll penalize St. Mary's real quick 4 back, but now we're back to even.
So up top, Bartolotti feeling comfortable with that spin move. Little push. Bartolotti remains in control of this one. She was hit there by Lefevre. Now they'll get it out to Walker. Has some players running through. Drops it in front. Cisco shot in the goal as she drops it down for the bouncer.
Now that to me was the play of the game so far. Brought 4 girls on her, but had the court awareness to see that cutter coming from down low. And again, that cutter had a really nice shot placement where she faked the goalie a little bit and then just buried it through the wickets.
Cisco has definitely been putting it together. You mentioned it earlier. You just wanted to see those two kind of work their two-man game, two-woman game. And when they do, they are tough to stop.
They're effective for sure. And again, as we're just watching that set, I just kept saying to myself, man, these are really, really well disciplined players, not forcing things that need to be forced, not making bad, decisions on passes and putting it in the wrong spot. Really, really well executed.
So Cleveland has found themselves back in the lead. It's been a little while. It was all the way back at 5:17 remaining in the first half the last time they had a lead at 3-2. And now here with 8:51, they've got that edge. They're going to reset here on the draw.
Yeah, once the players are set by the official, they must remain still, and then when they draw up. And every once in a while you'll get a ball get loose in there as the girls are pushing on each other, or the umpire needs to come in and do a reset.
There it goes up in the air. Cisco's chasing it down, grabs it again. Cleveland continues to win the draws late. And potentially an opportunity, but an errant pass as Cisco tried to push it on up for Rukti, but it bounced right in front of her, and there's the turnover. So Shavers will go ahead and get it over there to Steingruber.
Isn't that the best goalie name you've ever heard, by the way?
Definitely, I will say in girls lacrosse in Oregon, yes. But that's my only experience. She's going to clear and go way up the right side. Great pass and catch on the far side as it's gathered in there by Langer. Langer. Check that. Is that Langer? No, that was Wendell, but then Wendell lost it. Now on the battle, oh, it's going to go to St. Mary's.
Yeah, official wanted a whistle restart on that one, so they're bringing it back.
So I thought that was Langer 15, but it was actually Cora Wendell on that catch on the right side. Moving down in there is, well, there's Wendell again. Had it, lost it. Ball sits between a couple people, 50-50. Somebody advanced it with the foot, and they're going to blow the whistle on that one.
Yeah, see, I really would have liked to see St. Mary's settle down on that possession, not rush it. You're down by 1, 7 minutes to go. You need a goal. You got to get this thing knotted up. So take your time, run your offense.
Because one thing that Cleveland has been doing well is working the clock on the offense. Now let's see how the pressure is here up front. Oh, that ball knocked loose. Again, that's knocked away by LeBlanc, who's been so strong. But Cleveland finds a way to recover, and it's Walker, of course, as she speeds into the offensive end.
And she smartly recognizes they don't have numbers for the fast break, so they're going to bring it down low. And this is, they've really done a much better job in the second half of running their offense, and it's the reason they're up by 1.
6:45 or thereabouts right now. Let's keep an eye on that clock. How much time will Cleveland run off? Remember, there is no shot clock, so they'll just take their time. Okay, they're fine doing this for the next 6.5 minutes if St. Mary's isn't going to come out at them.
Right. I don't think they will.
Of course not.
For too much longer. I think they're maybe just taking a break, catching their breath, just getting into whatever offense Coach Tomlinson wants them to run for a play.
Then you have to be careful. Watch when it gets into number 9. Right now it's for Bartolotti, 1-9. Walker's on the near side at the 5-yard line. And then Cisco, she's going to go ahead and try and set a screen up top. Does for Taylor. Now Bartolotti has Cisco in front after the slide by St. Mary's, but they don't hit her. She'll back out.
Again, I think St. Mary's is not playing terrible defense. Their slides have been pretty good, a little late in some cases, but they're sending good doubles. Cleveland's just been really good at picking that apart so far.
You've got appears to be a timeout called, and that would be Cleveland calling the timeout. They've got the ball. Smart call by Tomlinson. 5:30 to go. Talking things through, though Coach Sierra wouldn't mind it as well. She was over talking with Maya Ernestvet just to sit there, and she brought her out of the front back on defense and had her over here on the sideline to talk a few things through. So
one of those nice parts of lacrosse. Coaches will do that a lot. We'll pull our players over while the ball's on the other end of the field just to convey some instructions. But I really like this timeout by Coach Tomlinson. She knows they're within striking distance with 5:30, so she wants this next shot to be a really, really good one. She must have noticed that maybe they're a little unorganized, didn't quite like what she was seeing, so good call on her part to stop the game, have a discussion, and figure out what they're going to do next.
So as they try to do that, we can tell you that, of course, in the postseason, Cleveland came out, they beat South Eugene. Well, we are talking about the South Eugene and the Mountainside one. Let's talk about St. Mary's. How did they get here? They had playoff wins over Hood River 17-9 and Tualatin 9-6. Those were nice wins for them. Now, here's one of the other aspects. St. Mary's is, of these two teams, the one that's most familiar with the setting. They've played here. They play here all the time because Oregon City's here and in the league, so they get the opportunity to do that. And they were victorious this year, 16-3 over Oregon City.
Yep.
That was back in April, I believe. So they know this turf. They know the bounces. They know the field. They've got to feel comfortable out there. They've played a great game, but you talked about it. It seems as though the second half has been all Cleveland.
I agree. I think their control of the draw. We keep coming back to that as a theme, right? But their control of the draw, and again, what's most impressed me is their patience on offense. Once they do get the ball, they're organized. They're running a play. This is where coaching becomes the difference in a lot of cases. You can have, we've got very equal skilled teams, I think, here, but they're executing Coach Tomlinson's game plan just really, really well here in the second half.
So far it's going. St. Mary's trying to go ahead and get any extra energy they can. I think everybody's pretty gassed right now late in this game, and as we've talked about, the weather's been rather draining. It's a late start. So some of the kids, they have had a full half week. It's the end of the day. I mean, They're tired.
Exactly.
They are tired.
Well, this is where it comes down to heart, right? Who
Yep.
wants it more? Who's going to execute error-free and pull this game out?
Create the turnovers, win the 50-50 balls, and that's that extra little bit of effort that could make the difference.
Yep. Well, I'm really anxious to see what Coach Tomlinson was drawing up in that timeout, what her thought is in terms of how they're going to take this next possession and try to get themselves a good shot.
She has been pretty strong at coming out of every timeout that's been called so far in this game. Her team has been very efficient on both ends, on offense and on defense. So let's see what happens. It will be Cleveland ball. Not sure where it is. Who's got it?
I think they're setting up down low.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Cisco on the far side, down on the O or the I of Pioneers in the end zone.
Yeah, there's actually a red dot over there just for this kind of situations.
So quickly, Cisco just sends it on in, and they'll start working it around. Rookty's got it, and here comes the chase and the pressure by St. Mary's. Running around is number 10, Ernestvent. They're looking for a little extra pressure on Walker. Walker tries to come off. They're trying to create that turnover in the double team.
What St. Mary's is trying to do here by the looks of it is run what we call a backer defense, where they're just sending one girl to the ball every single time so that there's a double. They're leaving some stuff on the backside a little open, taking a little higher risk, but at this point, they got to get the ball and not let Cleveland score.
Right in front, Cisco has the opportunity, goes to the left, takes the shot, save it, it's between the wickets. A nice job by Dean Gruber to stop that one in there. That would have been nearly a backbreaker, but another great save by Dean Gruber.
Best stop of the night for her for sure. That could be a momentum swing.
Let's see now, always the important clear. She's looking. Can't find anybody yet. She doesn't want to make a simple mistake of going ahead making the wrong pass early, but finally finds somebody open along the sideline. Nice job, grabbed there on the wing by Millbrook. Millbrook controls it and gets the whistle. She'll carry it through, pushing it on up ahead. Here comes LeBlanc with nobody in front of her. She's got numbers. Players on the wing. Still has it, carrying it through. Has space, takes the shot, and a goal for LeBlanc.
Well, the Blues bench like that one. Great cheering from them. Nice coast-to-coast finish. Good shot. Oh, they may wipe this goal off.
Oh, no. Oh, they're going to come over and talk about it.
It's like an offsides penalty on St. Mary's.
So the officials have not signified whether they're removing the goal. Because the scoreboard, to us, it reads 8-8 there. They wave it off. No goal. Cross that out in the scorebooks, folks. LeBlanc's goal taken away on the offside call.
Got to have 4 behind the 30-yard line or the restraining line in girls lacrosse. So sometimes in those transitions, things can get a little muddled, and one person who shouldn't be going across obviously sneaks across, and you get into that sort of hot soup.
So it'll be Walker set to bring it up. 4 minutes to go in this one and a 1-goal lead. Carries it through using her speed. She's got players ahead of her if she needs to, but instead just stays with it, works the far side of the field now, and gets it off for Cisco. Cisco will pass up the wing. That gets over to Taylor. Gets below the goal line. And now they set up trying to work that clock again.
There, you'll notice number 10 for St. Mary's. She's running towards the ball. She's getting pretty gassed, but this is their attempt to really just double the ball every single time.
Ennisvet is just leaving everything out there. You can see her running, just chugging along just for the fact that she is gassed. Maya Ennisvet giving it everything she's got for the Blues, but Cleveland just using the space game right now. Bartolotti with 3 minutes now remaining, gets past Lefevre. They put it on behind. This one's loose. It's on the turf, but however, it's picked up that time by Denning. Now they'll go off to Walker. I think that's the one player. It's either Cisco, Bartolotti, or Walker. They really want to have the ball.
And that's Coach Tomlinson is for sure.
Bartolotti's gone all the way out to midfield. She'll drop it back all the way back. Now the problem is there'll be a turnover at midfield. It's on the turf. Who's going to pick it up? Oh, Cleveland catches a break. Bartolotti has it pushed right to her. Oh, 2:23. That would have been a huge turnover.
Yeah, tough break for the Blues there. Yeah, I think Cleveland's got enough good stick handlers that they can just drain this clock out if they want to.
They go up top. Ball's loose on the ground. Picked up again by Walker. LeBlanc almost had it. Walker's cutting in. She backs out, which signifies possibly they are just going to go with the clock. Here's a move in front. Player knocked down inside the 8. Stopping the clock at 1:54.
Inside 2 minutes, we're going to stop the clock on every whistle.
So Dean Gruber.
Every whistle inside the critical scoring area.
So here comes up top Taylor. She's going to pass it out. Okay, there you have it. They're saying we're going to try and hold this one on. Taylor was right in front, looked to be going for a shot. But
well, the beauty of girls lacrosse is you can play one game and have two completely different halves, and that's been the nice part of this game. Is St. Mary's obviously controlled the bulk of the first half, but just seeing Cleveland chip away and play so disciplined, so effective has been really nice to watch.
Bartolotti with it. $1:25 to go in this one, holding a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, St. Mary's at this point has to sell out. They've got to go pressure out every single minute of this final minute 10.
Coach Sierra going ahead and trying to go ahead and make as many subs as they possibly can. Get some fresh bodies out there.
Another offsides.
Carlisle Moore is on. She got whistled for being offsides. But they're trying. There they go. They go ahead and they pull out Murphy, and that means Moore will go in. They're just looking for fresh legs to try and create some pressure. Now they put it in front. Passing it now over on the wing. It belongs to Rukti. All the way back around. It gets over to Walker with 55 seconds remaining. Here comes the pressure. Down low, Cisco. She's got space. Uses up. The flag is up. And there's the push. 46 seconds left. They'll say she was inside, so she gets the free shot.
Yeah, she was coming through the 8 meters. That foul happened, so she's going to get the automatic free position shot here.
Again, that's heads-up play. Outside is where she started.
Yep.
Ran through
Came
to try
through.
and draw it, but
Yep.
she'll back it out, going out to Walker. To Bartolotti with 42 seconds remain as they push it around the outside. Rukti makes the pass, gets it over to Denning. This one, however, knocked away. Ball's down on the turf. Up 50-50 ball. Who's going to come up with it? Bartolotti for Cleveland. 3 50-50 balls here in the last minute and a half, and Cleveland's got every one.
Love the work. Love the hard work. And running this kind of a stall is not the easiest thing in the world. Again, this is a really good representative this end of the field.
5 seconds remain. Bartolotti had it, got it knocked away. Ball comes loose, whistle blown, going the other way. But that is it. The clock reads zeros, and the Silver Cup championship goes to the Cleveland Warriors.
Warriors 8,
We mentioned the score at the half was 5-3 in favor of St. Mary's, who had gone on a 4-1 scoring spree, but then it was pretty much all Cleveland in the second as they're able to come out with that 5-2 edge in goals, and they are the Silver Cup champions. And you talked about it, well-deserved, great game, back and forth. We couldn't have asked for a better game in the championship of the Silver Cup.
Yeah, and again, within that spirit of what the Silver Cup's meant to be, this is exactly what we hoped for, and just couldn't be happier for not only both teams getting here, but for what Cleveland was able to do in the second half.
No doubt, and the celebration out there by the Warriors as they're thrilled to have that. The seniors go away, final game. That's a victory. I don't know that any of the Warriors are going on to play at the collegiate level, so my guess is this was their last game. Unfortunately, that's also the same situation for St. Mary's, a team that played their hearts out, really showed some fantastic defense, some wonderful transition and offense as well. You can't say enough about Rizzle, Dean Gruber between the pipes.
Yep.
Really an impressive performance to keep this game close.
Absolutely.
Final thoughts from you tonight, Ben?
Actually, you hit on a good point. The goal per game average of St. Mary's is actually a lot higher than what we saw tonight. So Dean Gruber, for me, was their best player. But, boy, the discipline of that Cleveland offense, and just they played so much smarter in the second half, controlled the draw. Really, really well-deserved win for them tonight. And I know Coach Tomlinson can take this and catapult the program forward, and build on this for the years to come.
Well, I know that she's got some tough teams in that league. They've got Grant in there, Lincoln in there, OES. So maybe this win can propel them to be up in those top three, and then all of a sudden might find herself in the gold bracket.
Absolutely.
Next year. All right, everybody. Well, we are getting ready to get out of here. We want to remind you that our next broadcast is coming up on Friday at 7 o'clock from right here, as we go ahead and bring you the OGLA State Championship between Jesuit and Lake Oswego. If it's anything like tonight, it's going to be fun.
Going to be a good one.
I look forward to that. So, for Ben Finklea, I'm Todd Mansfield. Thanks for joining us. One more time, the final score. It is Cleveland 8, St. Mary's 7. The Cleveland Warriors are this year's Silver Cup champions. Good night.